this episode of Viral Rewind, we're going to look at the Sov DOS virus, variants 1193 and 1205. 1205 being a little bit larger because it's got a little more to its graphical payload, but aside from that, these are basically identical. So, I'm going to go ahead and load Sov 1193 here. And it prints out a message of incorrect DOS version, but that doesn't matter because it's an infected program, but now we have Sov loaded into memory, and it is a terminate state resident, so it's going to hook interrupt21h and infect only .com files that we access from here on. So let's go ahead and look at some of them like format. So we see it's 22,987. We run it and look at it again, and now it's 24,185 bytes. So we've infected format. Let's also look at graphics. And we'll run graphics. And we see that's gone from 16,733 bytes to 17,929 bytes. So let's talk about the payload on that, which is pretty much what they're about. So right now it seems like the date for them is April 22nd of any year. Now they might trigger on other dates, but I haven't confirmed that yet, but I do know that they work on the 22nd of April. So again, the real difference between these is just with the graphical payload. So we're going to look at 1193 first. So let's look at one of those infected files from 1193 like format, and if we run that, it just prints out a thing of vertical white and black bars on the screen, and it stays there until you hit a key, which will clear it, and then it will go back and run the original program. The same thing can be seen for graphics. If we run graphics, yeah, we get the same full screen graphical payload there, just these black and white vertical bars staying on the screen, and then if we press any key, it returns us and runs the original program. It doesn't really do anything malicious of deleting information or anything like that. It just displays that little graphical payload right before, allowing you to return to the program with any press of the keys. So I've gone and restarted the computer here because we already had Sov 1193 loaded in memory, and we couldn't really overwrite Sov 1205 on top of that. So I'm going to load Sov here, and that returns us back to the prompt. So we're going to go ahead and find two other clean.com files to infect with the 1205 variant. So let's look at sys and tree. So we got 11,472 bytes and 6,334 bytes. So let's go ahead and run tree, run sys. And if we look at them now, we can see that 1205 has infected to those because their sizes have increased. So that has the 1205 variant on them. So let's go ahead and look at the payload of 1205. Again, it happens on the 22nd of April as well. So if I load one of those up and we compare this to 1193, see, we get this kind of graphical payload instead that says I am virus, instead of just those black and white vertical bars of 1193, which is why this variant is a little bit larger in size. But again, just like 1193, you press any key, it gets out of that payload and runs the original program. You can run sys. Again, it'll pop up I am virus. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the Sov DOS virus. They're very simple memory resident file infectors with those two graphical payloads of either vertical bars or the I am virus, depending on the variant that's infecting the system, and they trigger on the 22nd of April. So that is the Sov DOS virus.